This has been an interesting offseason so far. Obviously, the Vikings going out and get their guys. A lot of teams going out and hiring their guys. But one specific hire that I think in the NFC North that's going to make a lot of difference is Ryan Poles. I think Ryan Poles is one of those guys that obviously the Vikings were in on. I think he was in their last. Obviously, he was in their last two, and then the Bears hired Ryan Poles. So, but there needs to be consideration for something. You see, the Bears, in my mind, they've got needs in a couple of different areas. I think that the offensive line is clearly a need. Quarterback, I don't think is a need. I think Fields is the guy you just need to get in protection, some help. But overall, I mean, there's a lot of other positions of need. Obviously, you saw Ryan Poles with his what was his first order of business to trade Khalil Mack. That's ballsy. That's kind of ballsy a little bit. You love it. And I mean, you got some good draft capital for him. A 31-year-old outside linebacker that had 5-6 sacks last year. But I think that was that due to injury or something? I can't remember off the top of my head. But overall, I mean, that's a pretty good haul for Khalil Mack. So I mean, your first order of business trading a player like that, I mean, it's kind of understandable. I believe he was a little bit of a cap hit, a large cap hit as well. So not a lot of people consider his history with the Chiefs. Like, let's think about this for a second. Ryan Poles was with the Chiefs when they completely rebuilt that offensive line up against the salary cap. They needed some specific players. So what did they do? They went out and traded, and they got Orlando Brown Jr. Okay, solid. They signed Joe Thuney, possibly he's arguably the best guard in football right now. Arguably, I mean, Brandon Sheriff might have something to say about it, but I mean, it's a conversation. Also, I mean, getting a guy like Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey in the draft, and also getting Mike Remmers somehow able to play, there's still a lot of value that this, and I think that's just one of many examples. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu was still playing for him. I mean, Chris Jones, the Chiefs drafted well, but they also developed what they had, and I think Ryan Poles was a major reason behind that. He was a major reason as to why the Bears. Ryan Poles was a major reason as to why the Chiefs were able to get a lot of value out of the guys that they drafted. I think that goes down from the offensive line. Guys like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. There was a lot of reasons that and obviously I don't think he was there with the Chiefs at the time, but he learned from a lot of great people is my point here. And I think him coming back to the Bears, I think there needs to be some alarm bells going off for everybody else, because I think Ryan Poles is going to be a guy that can lead the Chicago Bears. I think moving forward, obviously there's going to be a huge emphasis on what's going to happen with the offensive line and all of that, because you got to get Justin Fields some help. You got to get this man some help. I think he's a good player, obviously a franchise player that you went out and moved for. Now, again, I don't know that this is necessarily the guy that, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, a lot of these GMs and everybody gets tied to these quarterbacks, but people need to remember, Ryan Poles didn't draft Justin Fields. He did not do that. That was, obviously the last, Ryan Pace and those boys. So at the end of the day, he's not necessarily tied to Justin Fields, but I think it would be in his best interest to make it work, because Justin Fields is a player now. We saw a lot of good things last year. But getting back to mainly the point here, I think moving forward that the Bears are a team that they've got some needs, but I think that his background specifically with the Chiefs should make fans excited. I think he's a guy that can lead them and do a lot of good things and find the value in the draft, also in free agency to rebuild the Bears pretty quickly. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you find all of our social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow there. Also, you'll find our link to our iTunes, so give us a listen and sub. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about Ryan Poles leading the Chicago Bears.